March 13th, there was a Twitter account named Straight Away, owned by a person named Ty. They posted this tweet: "I really need y'all to listen to this voicemail I just got. I'm deactivating my cell phone service." Then they posted a video of the voicemail they got, and it was creepy.
Sierra, Delta, Alpha, November, Golf, Echo, Romeo, Sierra, Oscar, Sierra.
So the voicemail was a series of words, but it's not just random words. This is actually called NATO phonetic alphabet, which is used in military, but also sometimes used in customer service. So if I was trying to spell my name, I would say Sierra, Hotel, Alpha, November, Echo. So Ty translated this message that he got, and it said this: "Danger, SOS. It is dire for you to evacuate. Be cautious. They are not human." I know, creepy. Now there's also a series of numbers. When they put the numbers into Google Maps, it gave them coordinates, and the location it gave was very close to Malaysia. Now this location was also very close to where the Malaysian Flight 370 disappeared, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Let's go back to Ty. So he started tweeting direct messages that he was getting that were in other languages and also in Morse code. He took this message that he got in Indonesian and he translated it in Google, and it said, "End the post you just shared about the recording on your phone."
Delta, Alpha, November.
Then a bunch of people on Twitter started translating the Morse code, and they think it said, "They are taking over, April 18th, 2018. I know, that's what made people go fucking crazy. But it gets even weirder. So 3 days before this happened, Ty posted a tweet that said this: "Okay, I am sitting in my car right in front of my house, and this guy started taking pictures of my house with flash. Then he walked away. It's 3 a.m. I am going to die tonight." And then 3 days later, he got the voice message. All right, so let's go back to what we talked about earlier, which was the coordinates. So a girl on Twitter named Erin Mahoney tweeted this: "Kinda close to the last place the Malaysia Flight 370 was when it lost primary radar contact." So if you don't remember, we've talked about it before, the disappearance of Flight 370 is one of the craziest things that's ever happened. In March of 2014, the Malaysian airline Flight 370 disappeared into thin air with 239 people on board. Now when I say disappeared, I mean literally. After air control lost contact of the plane, we never saw them again. How does that happen? How does a huge plane with 239 people just vanish? Well, then somebody replied to Aaron and they said this: "What if you're hearing the black box recordings?" If you don't know what black box recordings are, it's basically recording everything that's happening in the cockpit of the plane so that when a plane crashes or when a plane is hijacked, we have evidence of what went down. Now, how did that black box recording get to Ty's phone? Well, a Twitter account called Uzumaki said this: "Black box records the last interactions with a plane. That's why it's an SOS and save our ship. It was trying to warn us. A black box also records flight information as well, which is why it gives coordinates. If these black box recordings match the voicemail, are you saying that Malaysian Flight 370 encountered something non-human? Yes, the message was saying to evacuate because they are not human. Something or someone on that plane wasn't human." Okay, now this is when it gets really disturbing. So the last conversation between the pilot of Flight 370 and air control was released, and we are going to listen to it right now.
Malaysian 370, standby. Malaysian 370.
And for the most part, it seemed pretty standard, just a pilot talking to air control. And then it ends with the pilot saying this.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
And those were the last words from the pilot before the plane disappeared. Now, if you listen closely to the tape, you'll hear a few things that seem off. In the beginning, you can hear the pilot being pretty quick, like he doesn't really stumble over his words or his numbers.
Tower 118.8, Assalamualaikum.
Then, later in the conversation, near the end, he starts stumbling a little bit.
Alright, 1326 Malaysian 370.
Then he keeps stumbling and adding ums and ers.
Archer Malaysian 370.
Then, right before he says goodnight, you hear the sound of another voice. It's really quick, but listen for it.
Zero maintaining level 350. Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370.
One of the theories is that the plane was taken over by someone or something, and when it entered the cockpit, that's why the pilot started to stumble.
Malaysian
Then the cockpit door might have been opened again by the entity and scared the flight attendant.
Malaysian 370.
Then the pilot was forced to end the call, say goodnight, and go off the radar.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.